A bad reputation, canceled TV shows, and a permanent move to small-town USA. Katherine Heigl used to be one of the biggest stars on TV, but there's a reason you don't see much of her anymore. In 2009, Katherine Heigl and husband Josh Kelly expanded their family by adopting 10-month-old Nayli from Korea. Heigl said in an interview with Red, "About 6 months after meeting my now husband, I was like, marriage and having a family are both really important to me. Starting a family with adoption is also really important to me. If those things don't speak to you, we should part ways." Luckily, he was like, "I'm down with that." Heigl and Kelly have since grown their household by 2 more. In 2012, they adopted a newborn girl named Adelaide Marie Hope. Then in 2017, Heigl gave birth to her first son, Joshua Bishop.
And that love, that unconditional love, just sweeps over everything.
When Grey's Anatomy debuted in 2005, over 16 million viewers were introduced to the medical team at Grey Sloan Memorial, including Heigl's Dr. Izzy Stevens. Heigl appeared in 120 episodes before leaving the show in 2010. Her departure came in the middle of season 6, leaving writers scrambling to concoct a last-minute storyline around the character. As a new parent, Heigl's priorities had drastically shifted. She no longer had a desire to work long days on set, which could sometimes stretch to 17 hours. All of it was taking a toll on her mental health. Things were put into perspective when Heigl went on family leave and got to experience normal life as a first-time mother. It was then that she realized she wanted out. She told the Daily Telegraph that she did inform the show's creator, Shonda Rhimes, of her impending departure rather than spontaneously decide not to show up for work anymore. Heigl said, "I waited at home until I was given the formal okay that I was off the show. The rumors that I refused to return were totally untrue." Leaving Grey's Anatomy wasn't the only thing that caused tension between Heigl and the showrunners. A year after winning an Emmy for her role on the series, Heigl declined to be nominated again in 2008. She said in a statement, "I did not feel that I was given the material this season to warrant an Emmy nomination. I did not want to potentially take away an opportunity from an actress who was given such materials." Heigl didn't expect any backlash from this, but she certainly got her share of it. Not only was she starting to be seen as difficult to work with, she also upset Shonda Rhimes. In an interview with Oprah Winfrey, Rhimes said,
"On some level it stung, and on some level I was not surprised. When people say who they are, believe them."
Plus, this wasn't the first time that Heigl was publicly critical of a project she worked on. The same year, on the heels of her success in the comedy Knocked Up, she critiqued the film's portrayal of women, telling Vanity Fair, "It was a little sexist. It paints the women as shrews, as humorless and uptight, and it paints the men as lovable, goofy, fun-loving guys." After stepping away from Grey's Anatomy, Heigl appeared in several lighthearted comedies, including 2010's Killers and 2011's New Year's Eve. In an interview with Showbiz Junkies, the actress shared details on her love for comedies and why she didn't see herself taking on more serious roles anytime soon. Heigl told the outlet, "There's nothing like being on the set of a romantic comedy because everybody there is sort of there to have a fun experience and to create a fun experience for the audience, so it inevitably influences how you feel day to day." In 2014, Heigl added voiceover work to her resume with a role in The Nut Job. The animated family film focuses on an exiled squirrel who is trying to help his friends survive by stealing from a nut store. Heigl voices Andy, a fierce female squirrel. In an interview with AMC Theaters, Heigl said that her first experience in the world of animation was an enjoyable one. She went on to add that she would have happily watched the finished product of The Nut Job as a childless adult, but having her kids next to her made it more fun.
Now it feels more legitimate.
When One for the Money came out in 2012, Heigl was adamant that she wanted to stick with comedies because her life was complicated enough. However, in 2014, a dramatic role came her way on the NBC series State of Affairs that she couldn't pass up. Heigl portrayed Charleston Tucker on the show, a CIA officer and daily briefer for President Constance Payton. In an interview with Today, Heigl said she appreciated how the show didn't make a big fuss over the fact that the president and daily briefer were women.
They're there because they're exceptionally good at what they do.
Unfortunately for Heigl, State of Affairs was canceled by NBC after 1 season due to low ratings. Following her serious stint in State of Affairs, Heigl continued to take on more challenging roles. For instance, in the 2017 drama Unforgettable, she played a jealous ex who was determined to ruin her former husband's new relationship. A hard pivot from the people-pleaser Jane in 2008's 27 Dresses, Heigl told Good Morning America that she loved the freedom that came with playing a character who only cares about herself.
It is all about Tessa and what she wants.
Still, Heigl stressed that Tessa isn't a one-dimensional villain. The actress told Film Is Now that she could feel some sympathy for Tessa, who is feeling intense heartbreak and fears ending up alone. Ultimately, Tessa is a complicated and damaged woman who is experiencing something relatable to the masses.
It's just that she goes a little too far with it.
The same year that Unforgettable was released, Heigl returned to television once more on the CBS drama Doubt. For Heigl, appearing in the show's 13 episodes was quite the challenge, as she was pregnant with her son, Joshua, during filming. In fact, production wrapped up only 2 weeks before she gave birth. Heigl told Access Hollywood,
By that point, I was pretty tired. My feet were the size of, cantaloupes, and I was trying to look not pregnant.
Doubt was ultimately canceled by CBS due to low ratings. Following her lengthy stint on Grey's Anatomy, Heigl didn't have the best luck with her subsequent television projects. However, things turned around in 2018 when she joined the cast of Suits as the ruthless attorney Samantha Wheeler. Since Heigl was a longtime fan of Suits, she was nervous about appearing on the show, telling ET, "My biggest fear was coming on and ruining my favorite show by being on it." According to Heigl, her journey to becoming Samantha was all by chance. During a meeting with Suits creator Aaron Korsh, he revealed that an 8th season of the hit show was being made.
Like, do you need anybody? Because I'm available.
Though she initially thought she'd serve as a guest star on an episode or two, Korsh gave her an entire arc during season 8. For 2 seasons, Heigl shared the screen with Sarah Chalke in the Netflix series Firefly Lane. The show chronicled the highs and lows of friendship throughout various stages of life and received rave reviews from audiences. In an interview with People, Heigl shared her thoughts on why the show resonated so strongly with the masses, saying, "It's not some fairy tale version of female friendship. Watching them love each other and struggle with each other, and then have all these fabulous memories and moments and time together, I think it speaks to all of us." While bringing their on-screen friendship to life, Heigl and Chalke formed a close bond of their own, something that Heigl said doesn't always happen on sets. She told Forbes, "There's just something about these 2 women, this particular story, Sarah as a human being and my love for the characters." Over the years, Heigl didn't have the easiest time navigating Hollywood. Though she wanted to continue her career as an actress, she realized that living in Los Angeles simply wasn't for her. To escape from the hustle and bustle of the industry, she and her husband built a few homes in Utah, intending for them to be used as vacation getaways. However, as they spent more time enjoying small-town life, they decided to live there on a permanent basis. Heigl told Fox News, "It's a smaller town. I know who your friends are, who you are spending time with. I know what's up at school. It's just easier to keep my finger on the pulse."
Maybe I'm biased, but I really think there is no, more beautiful place in America.
As the owner of 7 dogs and 3 cats, Heigl is certainly an animal lover. In fact, she owns and operates the pet food nutrition brand Badlands Ranch.
Our mission was simple: create the best, healthiest dog food we could.
Along with the Jason Debus Heigl Foundation, Badlands Ranch also aims to shed light on how millions of healthy pets are euthanized annually in shelters across the country. Heigl told Today, "The foundation and the food is all about trying to fund these programs to help this problem, which is solvable. It's a solvable problem. It's not about just how much you can donate. It's just about being aware and whatever small thing you can do to contribute to the solution."
And it feels good to know there could be a solution.